Express entry draws, whenever they happen, they bring so much of excitement with it. When they happen, they bring excitement. Okay, let's start from the beginning. When they happen, they bring a lot of excitement, and when they don't happen, they bring a lot of stress, nervousness, anxiety, fear, and obviously frustration and anger. But today was not that negative day, but the positive day, because finally IRCC chose to conduct the regular all program express entry draw. Not only was it a regular all program express entry draw, it was the largest all program express entry draw ever in the history of express entry. It is the second largest express entry draw in terms of the program specific. The last largest express entry draw, or the most express, okay, you can make out I'm a bit excited on this one. The largest ever express entry draw was on the 13th of February when they issued 27,312 invitations. But today they issued 7,000 invitations. That one was program specific, where it was only CEC. Today was all programs, basically meaning federal skilled workers, Canadian experience class, provincial nominee programs, federal skilled trade categories. Everybody was invited. 7,000 invitations. But let's check this out in detail. So express entry big draw, as we are talking about it, 243, that's the draw series number, March 15, 2023, which is today. No program specified, 7,000 invitations issued, and the lowest CRS score of 490. The tie-breaking rule was 16th of February 2023, and candidates from all categories were invited. Let's talk about this tie-breaking rule, because a lot of people get confused. Tiebreaker rule, which is on the 16th of February at 10:33:06 UTC, it basically applies only to the lowest cutoff, in this case 490. So if you are at score of 490, if you created your profile after the 16th of February 2023, then you were not included in this draw. Anybody who created their profile before the 16th of February, they were all included in this draw, which basically is a good news, which basically means a lot of 490s who have earlier been stuck in the express entry because for one or the other reason they kept missing these draws. Congratulations, you would have now received an invitation. And if you still haven't received an invitation, please do not freak out. You will get it. It takes up 24 hours to get your invitations, and sometimes. Let's quickly look at the pool breakdown, right? This was as of 15th of March. Pool breakdown is usually published before the express entry draw is announced. So this is before the express entry draw being announced. If you see 601 to 1200, that is the people who have received their nominations and 600 points. So 784 profiles there. Pool breakdown of 501 to 600 shows 3,216, which is actually not a bad number considering there wasn't a draw for almost a month and a half. Then 491 to 500 is 2,603. Again, to be very honest, it's not a bad number because there hasn't been a draw for quite some time now. Total number of profiles between these three segments between 491 to 500, 501 to 600, 601 to 1200 is 6,603. So then you're going to say, where did the remaining 397 go or come from? Well, that is where the 490s happen. It is presumably understood that there would be approximately 400 people who were at score of 490 who would have received their invitation. Also, you have to keep in mind, though this pool breakdown is as of the 15th of March, this is taken slightly earlier. So there are obviously profiles that get created after they would have taken the pool breakdown. Earlier, they would give pool breakdown a week before. Now then they gave pool breakdown 2 days before. Now they're giving it on the same day, which is pretty good. So we have a better understanding of the snapshot of the pool, but it's still not immediately before the draw. It could be few or several hours before the draw, and therefore this is not accurate as of the draw time itself. So a lot of people always are concerned as to how there is a gap. This gap of 397 is for people who are at the score of 490, and that falls between the range between 481 to 490, where you have 12,183 people there. Now, if I also show you this is the pool breakdown as of the 1st of March, which was 2 weeks earlier. If you see that 501 to 600, 2,129, and then this 2 weeks later, 3,216. So roughly 1,000 profiles got added with score of 500 and plus. And between 491 to 500, now there are 2,600. Earlier, there was 1,756. So not a lot of people, approximately, you would say about 850 people got added there. Not a big jump there. But let's see this again. More key analysis points. The remaining number of profiles above 491, duh, it's all 00. I mean, 00s, no more profiles above 491 at this point of time as of the draw happening. The draw increase with profiles with 500 plus, because 500 plus has always been our lookout. Since the 6th of July, we have seen considerable number of profiles getting added with 500 plus. Now, that number is not all that high. It's at 1932, 1932. Earlier, it has been ranging in 2,200 to 2,800. So this number has come down, which is also good, because the lower this number means the lower the scores can go. Next draw estimate. Now, obviously, the drop below 490 is definitely anticipated within this month itself, which is March 2023. Obviously, now that the scores have come, or rather touched 490, and if IRCC doesn't play naughty again, then definitely we can expect the scores to drop below 490 within this month itself. But let's see what's the next draw estimate. The next draw estimate, in my opinion, there would be about 3,500 invitations issued, and you're looking at a score of range draw of 486 and 488. I'm not looking at a very steep draw, and I will explain that to you in a bit. Usually, draw on draw, as I can show you here, 1,932 profiles got added. Okay, this is draw on draw, from one draw to another draw. With this being said, if you expect this to be an average number of people who keep getting added into the express entry profiles, or in the express entry pool with 500 plus scores, which basically means if I take a similar number for the next draw, if they have to issue 3,500 ITAs, and the reason why I'm saying 3,500 is because the previous draw, which was a federal skilled worker draw, they issued 3,300 profiles. This draw, they have issued 7,000 invitations. Now, if they've issued 7,000 invitations, I'm thinking they've tried to compensate for two draws, and hence 3,500, and hence 7,000. So with the next draw, I'm expecting that they may issue, or they may conduct a draw of about 3,500 invitations. And if that happens, and considering that there are on an average 2,000 people who keep getting added into the pool with scores of 501 range, and then obviously there would be a few hundred profiles with 490 plus range, that would reduce the available invitations at sub 490 or less than 490 to probably about 1,000 or 1,200, 1,000 to 1,200-ish kind of a number. And therefore, my expectation between 486 to 488, I would be more in the range of 487-ish, to be very honest. Again, a lot depends on IRCC, as in, one, are they considering to continue with the draws? That is extremely important. Consistency is something which we have absolutely been yearning from. IRCC just hasn't been that way over the last quite a few months. They stopped conducting draws after 23rd of November. Then they stopped conducting draws in February onwards. And, they put you on tenterhooks all the time. There is some sort of a fixation they have got with 490. Don't you think so, right? I mean, for some reason, they keep getting stuck with 490. We have seen that repeatedly. Happened in November, happened again in Jan, happened in Feb. And now again, we are back in March and again stuck at 490. And I'm not sure why and what happens there, but they seem to get fixated there. I hope this is the last that we have seen of 490 and we can actually go and drop the scores below 490. That would be a big, big relief. So all eyes are on the next draw whenever that happens. Hopefully within the next 2 weeks, which would be on the 29th of March. So fingers crossed. Hopefully they will continue with the draw. My only concern and worry is that spring is around the corner, and when I'm saying spring is around the corner, which is 20th of March. that also means Bill C19 is somewhere around the corner. I'm not sure how many of you saw my most recent video that I put out, and Bill C19 draws can start at any point of time. We just do not know when. IRCC was anticipating that their systems are going to be ready by spring. And spring, as I said, is on the 20th of March, which basically means that they could be coming up with the category-based draws at any point of time. Whenever the systems are ready, whenever all the systems are go and they're ready to go with it, you could start seeing the category-based draws. So that sort of puts me on a bit of more of, nervous eggshells. But as I said, we stay forever hopeful. We always keeps our hope high. We always stay positive, and IRCC keeps surprising us with these kind of draws. And there's nothing better than that. Moving a bit forward, I think I have one more slide here. Yes, the future trends. Let's look at future trends. As of now, until 2023, IRCC has issued 23,559 invitations in this year. Average number of ITAs for 2023, in my opinion, they will be issuing about 70,000, give or take few. The candidates in express entry pool as of right now are 245,121. To be very honest, that's not a lot, as in the number hasn't increased a lot from the last express entry draw, which was at 243,000. So just a 2,000 number increase, which tells you that the pool is so dynamic. I'm sure a lot of people, their profiles are getting expired and the new ones keeps getting added, but that number variance is not a lot. So that makes you think, right? The quotas for 2023, express entry, federal high skill is 82,880. And I anticipate about 20,000 PNPs would be linked with express entry, and those would also be through express entry. Mind you, not all PNPs are linked with express entry. Rather, the majority, 75 to 80%, are not linked with express entry. So those are not included as part of the express entry. In my opinion, the remaining number of draws for 2023 would be approximately 19. And Bill C19 implementation, as we've been talking about, I anticipate post-spring, which basically means anytime now. So that's the pool breakdown. That's the express entry draw, which happened today. Total number of invitations, 7,000, and lowest CRS score of 490, which is incredible. Love it. As I said, consistency is extremely, extremely desirable. And for a change, we really hope that IRCC sticks with it. Over the last few weeks, when the draws have not been happening, a lot of people have been quite anxious, have been quite upset, quite frustrated. I absolutely feel for all those guys who are in Canada, who are waiting for some news on the postgraduate work permit extensions, especially expiring in 2023. And of course, some of you who are also in 2024. As of right now, there has been no news at all. Nothing has come up. In a very short video clip that was posted on Sean Fraser, he said they are looking into it. Not that he said that they are coming out with something. But when they say they're looking into it, it could basically mean anything. It could also mean that they are looking into category-based draws, which would also weigh heavily towards people who are in Canada, inside Canada, have Canadian experience, have Canadian education, and will provide a relief. But something that I have been probably screaming from on top of any pillar that I can find, and also on Twitter a lot, people have to become more realistic about this whole thing. Canadian PR is not easy. It will not be easy as we move forward. It's going to be more and more difficult. I posted some numbers this morning as well. You're looking at more than 1.4, 1.5 million people who are temporary residents in Canada, which basically means if you are also a temporary resident in Canada, then your fight is not, or your competition is not with people outside Canada. Your competition is people inside Canada. And therefore, for people who keep wondering when our CEC specific draw is going to happen, well, then for most of you, you have to understand most of the invitations that have been issued so far. So roughly 35,000 invitations issued last year, 6th of July onwards, and about 23,000 something issued this year. So approximately 60,000 invitations issued. The score has not gone below 490, except that one draw of 489, which was a Federal Skilled Worker Program draw. I still can't figure out that one as to what happened. It seems like a blip on the radar, but it happened. So the scores haven't really dropped below 490 technically, if you go to see. And most of the people above 490, majority of the profiles were Canadian experience class. So there may not have been a CEC specific draw, but majority of the profiles that are going through are either people who have a job offer, people who are bilingual, have French skills, people who have Canadian education, master's degree, etc., or who have Canadian work experience. All these profiles have, or rather, most of these profiles will have Canadian component, that is a job offer, education, work experience, except for the French speakers. But hey, they did put in a lot of effort picking up 2 languages, so you can't blame them if they're getting a little bit of advantage. So that's good. Kudos to them and good luck to them. But apart from that, more or less, this is what we are looking at. Hoping and praying that express entry draws continue the way they have been, or rather they are anticipated to, and IRCC does not give us any more root shocks. That's all I have for you today in this very brief video. Just gonna quickly look at a couple of questions. Guys, please do not take super chats. I'm not looking at super chats. No question here. There is one super chat here. Want to get cleared. Received IT today with dependent. Wife is coming to Canada in upcoming weeks. So do we have to apply PCC for her again, or her Indian PCC will be valid for us? No, you need to apply for her Indian PCC after she has come to Canada. So once she's in Canada, then you apply for Indian PCC. The PCC that she has from India is not valid because it will not cover her entire duration of stay. So yes, you will need to get another PCC. Yeah, I mean, I can see a lot of questions. By all means, please come back and post your questions in the video. I will come and take a look at most of these questions and try and answer them toward tomorrow morning, I guess. Time to go to bed. Thank you so much. Has been an exciting day, and hopefully we continue seeing such more exciting days. Thank you for joining in. Stay safe, take care, and good night.